Broken-hearted actress sets her sights on the rich and famous, deliberately reveals she's single. She wanted to have dinner with Jack to talk about her ambitions, but Jack showed the wedding ring on his hand. He said he was married. He turns around and leaves. The actress couldn't believe it. She's no match for the bride who disappeared for 2 years. Jack found a crying baby in the mall. While coaxing the child, he was surprised to see Annie running towards him. Jack was fascinated, but it turns out he's mistaken. He was so lost, wondering where his Annie was. On the other hand, Jack's father had found his wife, asking her to come back to him, because in the 2 years that he had been away, he realized how much she meant to him, and Jack's mother got the answer she wanted. The two of them cling to each other. The family was finally together. Jack is still eating the sweet potatoes with kimchi that Annie taught him. Everything in his life reminded Jack of her. Annie on the other side. She's a mom. The family is living a normal and happy life, and Annie is still selling seafood. When she had time, she knitted clothes for her son. Annie is a kind-hearted person who supports girls in need, and rewarded her for good exam results. I just think of Jack all the time. Luckily, she has her son with her. She named him Chui Jianling. This day, Jack received a tip from a friend who was looking for him, but Linda advised him not to get his hopes up, because he'd received too many fake messages in the past 2 years. Every time, they were disappointed, but Jack didn't miss a chance. He still insisted on going in person. When he arrived at the address he had been given, Annie arrived to make a delivery. Jack asked around with Annie's photo, but found nothing, and he happened to pass by Annie again, from morning until evening, but there was no sign of Annie, and that's when Linda called. She'd received another, more reliable lead. She told Jack to go back. Not far away, Annie was hit by a motorbike. The ball of wool rolled out of her hand. It rolled to Jack's feet. He picked it up and looked around. The person he loved was standing right in front of him. Both men looked at each other in disbelief. Tears of longing were left in their eyes. Jack looked at his son with a mixture of sadness and joy, thinking how hard it must be for Annie to raise her child alone. The grandmother knew he had been looking for his granddaughter. She finally recognized him as her son-in-law. The next day he took Annie home with him. The grandmother took out the red shoes she had kept from her wedding. It was only then that everyone realized that she was the first bride of Grandpa Jack.